I think all of us were sort of mentally prepared for the shock of being in India, and so just throngs of people. And so our first couple of days were in the major center of Delhi before we went to a more rural area where we spent the rest of our time. In the city, it's quite modern. People have cell phones and stuff, and they're grabbing their cell phones and trying to get their picture taken with me. I mean, never mind if you're Kelly Jardine and you've got blonde hair. Like, they want tons of pictures with Kelly. So it's like the closest I'm ever going to feel to being a celebrity. It was quite strange.
The next day we flew to Udaipur, and then once we got there, we got loaded up into the cars, and then we started on our hour-and-a-half journey to Audi. And so Audi is the place that we stayed at for the duration of our time with Free the Children, or with the Meet Foundation. Okay, so we've now arrived, we've traveled so far to come here. Delhi's beautiful and there's lots to see there, but this side of it, the actual going and spending time with the children and helping to build a village side of it, for me, started once we landed there. As we entered in through the doors, they'd started to play like music, and there was a band, and they started to throw flowers, little flower petals, as we were making our way upstairs. And yeah, it was just very surreal. Everyone there is so welcoming, and so, and it just made you feel right at home.
The very next day, the Tuesday, is when we went to the school. The kids were waiting for us as soon as we got out of our cars. There was just a procession of kids and students and music and adults, and they had flowers and a band going on, and they had this big opening ceremony. They had someone ready to put the dot on our head. I don't know what the dot's called. They had some of the girls just get up and sing to us, so that was really awesome. But then they invited us to go up there and sing and dance with them too. In the meantime, it was just great to see the kids, because they sat all around us, and they just wanted to wave and say hi. They were just so excited that we were there. So we did the opening ceremony, and then we went back and we cooled down and we got some water. And we went straight to the build site, and they just had us go right into it. It was here, pick up this pickaxe, pick up this shovel, and start digging a hole. So it was really, really physical labor, but it was really rewarding at the same time as well.
I know I'm not going deep enough. I was just going to loosen a bunch.
Up until that point, you come to this fork in the road and you would always go right. And this time we were going to Komoda, and we ended up taking the other road. We went left. And then you come up over the hill, and there was actual houses and living quarters and people and goats. And when we walked down to get the water, down the road that we came from, and it was downhill there. And I'm thinking, as I'm walking there, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to carry this bucket all the way up this hill to get home with water in it. So we get to this well, and it was an open well, and in order to get water out, it was on a big wheel with the mini buckets in it, and in order to turn it, you literally had to walk around in a big circle. Anyway, and then we get these buckets on our head, and we're walking up the hill, and Evan's behind me, and we all have two hands carrying this, and then the other group stayed behind, and I think it was for insulation, but it was cow poop, water, and mud. And we got to spread it on their walls, and it keep the heat out and keep the warmth in. I think it's just like insulation. And to us, it was like, holy man. This is actual cow poop.
I was a trench digger, so I would take an axe and shovel, but mostly pickaxe, and chip away at the dirt and the rocks, and then put it in a bowl and chuck it in a pile. It was fairly advanced labor, but quite satisfying. I wasn't expecting Mark Kielberger, one of the co-founders, to be in there with us. It was a surprise first that he came and spent most of the week there with us. He was almost there the whole time. Seeing him there was one thing. But he was with us the whole, throughout the whole day and throughout the evenings, and he was in there in the trench with me, working all day long. So I was, quite moved by that level of leadership, for sure.
To go to this school where it was done and see these kids, and to see the effect that I guess I would attribute our donations had on the environment that these children lived in was really significant. It was very stark. These kids have a completely different level of confidence, the way they just held themselves. There was pride. And I would attribute that to just being in an environment where they had good access to education. The financial situation was quite different there. They had access to bikes. To have a bike actually opens up this opportunity for these kids to go to high school. So if you don't have a bike, you can't walk far. It's too far to walk to the high school, to the community that has a high school, so you don't get high school education. Completely different experience in Komoda versus Kaltana.
Shopping in Udaipur was not like any kind of shopping experience in North America, besides having to sidestep cows at each stall that you wanted to go to. The sights and the sounds were vibrant, and walking from shop to shop was an adventure. Lots of clothing everywhere. The bags, trinkets, jewelry, you have everything under the sun that you can think of purchasing. It was all open air, overwhelming, and in the end, no one got run over or trampled by the livestock.
So closing ceremonies in Kalthana, we really wanted to make it special because they welcomed us with open arms. And Stacy had a great idea to have Miss Heather and Kelly perform their Bollywood dance that they had learned a few days ago. We kicked things off. I gave a little opening speech, just thanking the community and thanking the kids for letting us hang out there for the last week. And yeah, we had Heather and Kelly and Sarah and Satamit join in as well to perform the Bollywood dance. And then we had the kids come up and join, and it was really, really fun. They absolutely loved it. And then we got a chance, we had about an hour to just play games with the kids. I don't know when the last time I played Duck Duck Goose was, or whatever their version of it was, but yeah, it was really, really, really fun and really tough to leave. But I still feel that connection and bond to that community. It was sad, but we had a lot of fun, and I think that the kids will look back and we made it special enough, especially with the dance, that they'll always remember that as well.
We had toured a couple forts already, so I think most of us were thinking we're just going to tour a fort that's in this area. So we all come down, we meet at the steps, we all leave as a group, we walk out into the parking lot, and there's like 10 camels there, and we realized we're going to go on a camel ride all the way up to this fort. It was so exciting to get on the camel. I was slightly concerned I was going to die because I thought we were going to fall off the camel because me and Tara had some technical difficulties with ours. We're walking up the path to go to this fort, and it's called the Cloud Fort, and it literally looks like this amazing, huge castle in the clouds. And the camel ride there, you're going through rural India with all of these trees, and the ride up there was just amazing. And then you get there, and it's just this most breathtaking, wonderful fort, and I don't even think words can describe how beautiful it was. We go through the whole fort, we climb all the way to the top to one of the best views that I've ever seen in my whole life. And I took pictures knowing fully that the pictures would do no justice.
But inside there's also this large palace structure, and we noticed it had this great echo. And I think it was Kelly Jardine who started to sing In the Jungle, the Disney song. And as soon as she started, I know I jumped in and a whole bunch of other people jumped in, and we just were just, I can't even describe it. It was just a beautiful moment. We were all singing and connecting, and this, it was one of those moments that you didn't expect, and it just was a special moment for me.
Hey, How's it going?
Beer.
Bear.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3.
It was so special, and you know, they made us feel so welcome.
It was such a blur. I mean, it's such a crazy place. Like, there's so much going on.
I really felt a connection to my roots.
That connection with kids.
Literally the hardest trip to explain in words.
I can say that it was amazing. It was fantastic. It was inspirational.
Overwhelming.
It was amazing. It's unforgettable.
Grateful, you're reflective.
Contentment, happiness, enjoyment, laughter, love.
It's one of those things you just can't describe. It's like, describe a sunrise, you know?
Words can't do it justice.
I came home with a completely heightened sense of gratitude.
I always forget how lucky we are here.
Definitely makes me more grateful for what we have here.
My appreciation for everything in my life has completely changed.
We're all part of this world together. We're all going through it together, and it's on all of us to try to make everyone's lives better.
It is about great experiences. I don't worry so much about what gifts I'm going to buy my kids for Christmas so much anymore. I just worry about trying to spend time with people and experience them.
It's tough to put into words how your life changes. I think you change. You just become a different person.
I've changed, and how I view things have changed, and what I take, you know, what's important to me has changed.
I've had that very visceral experience where of how so much of the world lives. And that was a pretty big deal.
Kelly and Heather obviously gave it their all in that dance.
It was ridiculously hot out.
Sweating so profusely. So sweaty.
Kelly and Heather did such a good, fantastic job with that.
We sweat like nobody's business.
I'm sweater.
They're not any different than us, really. Just circumstantially, just situationally, but not what's in
As
them.
much as their lives are different, they're very much the same, where, you know, it's all about their children, and they've got a lot of the same issues that we have here, right?
The world is really small. You know, everyone wants the same things, I think, for their families. They want people to be healthy, to be happy, to feel loved, to laugh a lot, to do all of those things.
They're very happy people. They're content. They have very arduous lives compared to what we would have, but they're really content. They're happy.
They're so happy that we're there. We're so happy that we're there. But they're inviting us into their community, into their homes, into their hearts.
It's a simpler life, but they're just so happy and so content and so loving and so warm and welcoming.
And they just made the most of it, and I think got joy in the simplest of, you know, aspects of life.
I saw so many people happy with so little, and it's really challenged me to ask why I can't be that happy.
There was one lady, Money Bai.
Money Bai had such a great sense of humor.
She's hilarious, she's funny, she's sweet.
Monibel grabs my arms and she sees my tattoo. It's my dad's signature, and he passed away when I was 14. And then she sticks out her arms and she has like 2 identical tattoos. One was her brother. So it was like, holy, these little things you have in common with people all the way around the world.
Money Bai, she just looked at me and she said, like, I'm really proud of you. For me, that was like, I can't believe you just said that to me, because it's so the reverse. Like, I'm proud of everything that you do. Your life is so much harder than my life. Like, I was lucky because my parents immigrated.
I'm a very good goat milker now.
We did milk the shit out of those goats.
I do not.
They were literally hands deep in bowls of poop.
Take that spirit you're giving me back home.
It shows me the difference of what, you know, IQ can do in making a difference.
One of the moments in my life where my heart has just felt like so warm. I will never ever forget it.
Cool, Kelly. Cool, Kelly.
Coming home, I'm so thankful and I'm blessed.
Thing called Deli Belly. I didn't have it, but there are some good stories about Deli Belly. I think Nevin might have the best one.
I just would not eat for the 24-hour or 30-hour trip back to home, and I just wouldn't eat anything.
The organization is an amazing organization, and they're doing really great work, so we're certainly going to continue working with them.
My advice would be go with an open mind and an open heart.
But you just need to be in the moment.
Go with it, don't be afraid.
Leave everything at home and you don't think about work.
At the end of it, you're going to have an amazing experience.
Just get ready for the life-changing events that are going to happen.